6 words. The white coach couldn't believe what he saw. 10 words. That black kid on the bench was a generational basketball talent. Ennis to 7 words, even though he only played 1 minute per game. 10 words. The moment the ball hit his hands, the whole court became his stage. 7 words, he dribbled up court, spun with a flashy move. Subbed cheese, 4 words, leaving his defender behind. 8 words, the layup was smooth as silk, all in one motion. 8 words, his talent was obvious, the coach was hooked instantly. 10 words. But here's the catch about this genius, he sat on the bench every single game. 4 words, the reason was wild but true. 4 words, back in 1960s America. 6 words, racial discrimination cast a shadow over everything. 10 words, black players simply weren't considered good enough to share court with white players. 9 words. But this coach didn't care about any of that. He went straight to find that black player. 8 words, and offered him a full scholarship right then and there. 9 words, determined to grab this future star. But the player's response, 7 words, was like a bucket of cold water, killing his excitement. 7 words, signing me is no different from signing any other black guy. 9 words, I'll just end up on the bench with 0 minutes, so I might as well walk away. Deeper, 7 words. The boy's words carried deep, bone-weary despair. Mighty 9 words, he'd long given up on a world that only saw skin color, never real skill. Is 7 words, kid, you've got real talent, you shouldn't just quit like this. 9 words, let me be honest with you. The only thing I've ever loved in my life is basketball. 8 words, you know what it feels like to have a ball in your hands? 9 words, playing your own rhythm. Too bad nobody wants to hear it. Tabbles. 7 words. Seeing the boy's disappointment, the coach didn't back down. 7 words. He made the boy a solemn promise. No color line on my team. 7 words. Only fast and slow, strong and weak. As long as you're willing to fight. 8 words. I'll put you on the biggest stage in America. 5 words. For a genius held back for so long. 8 words. Nothing is more tempting than a fair shot. 7 words. He chose to trust this stubborn white coach. 10 words. Becoming the first black player in team history. But nobody expected. 11 words. This seemingly crazy decision would become the moment that rewrote American basketball history. 9 words. And it was this groundbreaking move that paved the way for future superstars. 8 words, like Kobe and Jordan. 4 words. And this coach who shattered prejudice. 8 words. The godfather of black basketball was honored by later generations as 7 words. Hey everyone, I'm LaFeng. What I'm bringing you today. 6 words is a film based on a true story. 8 words. From the 1966 NCAA basketball tournament. 8 words. Glory Road, directed by James Gartner. 4 words, starring Josh Lucas. 4 words. It scored a solid 8.5 on Dubin. 7 words, hailed as the ultimate sports inspirational movie. 7 words. The reason it's legendary isn't just because it tells. 9 words. A heart-pounding underdog story, but because it captures. 4 words. Let's step into this. 8 words. Legendary road forged with sweat and courage. 4 words. The story kicks off in 1965. 7 words. Back then, Haskins was a rising basketball star. 10 words. But a serious knee injury forced him to hang up his shoes early. 4 words, though his love for basketball ran deep. 6 words. So he couldn't stay away from the court after retiring. 8 words. He chose to coach a high school girls basketball team. 8 words. With his unique training methods and sharp tactical mind. Chapter 10s, 1s and 10 words, he led the girls to an incredible 157 wins. 6 words, becoming an undefeated legend in high school basketball. 4 words. But young and ambitious Huggins, 8 words, craved a bigger stage to prove what he could do. The opportunity came fast. West Texas State took notice of his coaching skills and sent him an offer, making him head coach of the Texas Western team. Huggins was thrilled. He packed up his whole family and drove across the desert, arriving at this border university. He thought his big break had finally arrived, but reality hit him hard. The school wasn't just remote, it was completely broke. His family of 5 had to squeeze into a rundown boys' dorm. Even worse, the gym floor creaked and groaned. The lights flickered on and off, and the current players weren't exactly skilled. Huggins went to the dean asking for a recruiting budget, but got shut down cold. Our finances are tight. Every penny spent on education has to be controlled. Having a decent team was already lucky enough. But no matter how the principal argued, Don Haskins always felt that a team like this wasn't worthy of his ambitions. The principal had no choice but to bite the bullet and give him a scholarship. With financial support, Haskins started recruiting players everywhere, but kept hitting walls. Play for a school like that? No thanks, coach. I actually want to win. Those talented white players wouldn't even look at his unknown third-rate team. Just when he was at a loss, came the scene from the beginning. He discovered the black player, Hill. This successful recruitment sparked a bold, even crazy idea in Haskins. Since good white players wouldn't come, he'd go recruit those overlooked by mainstream basketball, black players with amazing talent. So how many black players do you want? 7 total. So how many black players do you want? 7 total who can shoot and rebound. If they're colored, that's fine. This idea terrified his assistant coach, because in American basketball back then, there was an unwritten rule in home games. You could put 1 black player on the court during the meaningless garbage time. If a team had 7 black players, it would be an outright provocation against the entire white world. It's gonna bring a world of trouble. You'll throw your career away and drag me and everyone else down with you. But Harkins had made up his mind. All he wanted was to win. To make his team stronger, he sent his assistant to the street courts in New York. While he kept looking around here, he came to a mining town and found a black miner named Shade, who was built like a tank and could jump out of the gym. Exactly the forward he needed. Harkins walked up, all friendly, but scared the guy half to death. Back in those days, a white man approaching a black guy out of nowhere usually meant trouble. You won't believe what just happened to me. Some white guy almost kidnapped me. While he was still rambling on to his mom about what happened, the next second, he froze on the spot. Harkins was already sitting in the living room, smiling and raving about her fruit pie, saying it tasted just like his own mom's. This is Mr. Harkins from El Paso, Texas. He wants you to take a basketball scholarship. Texas, where people look down on you. El Paso's different from the rest of Texas. More opportunities there. Kid already had a laboring job lined up. No need to go to Texas for school, but his mom shut him down fast. I've always wanted Shade to get more schooling. There are schools right here. I just don't feel right sending my kid so far away, or leaving him with some stranger. Harkins totally got where mother was coming from. He gave her his solemn promise. As long as Shade is willing to go with him to Texas, he'll do everything he can. Treat him just like his own kid. Take good care of Shade's daily meals and life. With that sincere and heartfelt determination, Harkins successfully recruited Shade under his wing. He then found another guy, a skilled shooting guard. But this kid was a bit wild and cocky, always talking trash. Harkins didn't hesitate. He stepped right onto the court to go one-on-one with him. A solid block showed him there's always someone better out there. You think your head shaking and trash talk affects me? That doesn't work at all. The ball's right in front of you, can't steal it, going nowhere. Harkins then demonstrated to him the proper ball handling and footwork, patiently correcting his bad habit of traveling when dribbling. After some professional guidance, the young man's touch suddenly clicked. He sank the shot cleanly, completely convinced he dropped his arrogance, and officially joined Harkins' team. Meanwhile, the assistant sent to New York to recruit players didn't disappoint. With his smooth-talking gift and sharp eye for basketball talent, on the chaotic streetball courts, he discovered 4 exceptionally talented black players. A team with 7 black players and 5 white players, the Miners, was officially formed. But when they arrived at the school full of hope, what greeted them wasn't welcome or acceptance, but discrimination and hostility everywhere. The shadow of prejudice always looming over these young men. The cafeteria worker refused to serve them food. The white players on the team deliberately excluded them, not only hurling insults but mocking them, saying they don't deserve to play basketball. Even the janitor's eyes were full of contempt and ridicule. When the principal learned the team had recruited 7 black players, he firmly refused to arrange dorms for them, pressuring Higgins both openly and subtly to give up on these black players, thinking they'd tarnish the school's reputation. Until Higgins made a bold promise. If next season's win rate didn't hit 50%, he'd leave with these black players. The principal reluctantly agreed, but a real team isn't just a bunch of talented individuals tied together. It's countless unruly hearts forged through sweat and friction into an unbreakable whole. This process is far more painful than winning any game, and far more precious. Higgins knew this well. He laid down 3 strict rules for the team. No smoking or drinking, no chasing girls or dating, and no staying out all night. He wanted everyone's energy focused on basketball. He ditched all the flashy moves, starting from the basics: defensive stance, shooting form, grinding through brutal drills day after day. In his view, great players always play simple and practical basketball. Those fancy but useless moves, they'd be pushovers in real competition. But these guys were used to a freewheeling streetball style of play. The black players quickly felt suffocated. They snuck out of the dorm, hit the bars, and partied all night, only coming back at dawn. Even though they all showed up on time the next day, their sluggish state tipped the coach off. So what greeted them was, naturally, the coach's merciless punishment: 100 hellish suicide runs. I'll wear holes through your souls today. Although they were unhappy, not one dared talk back. Only a month left for the NCAA tournament. They knew how rare this shot was, but the coach's training was seriously brutal. The intensity was insane, and he wouldn't let them use any flashy moves. Hill, used to streetball, couldn't take it anymore. He felt the coach's tactics. We're killing their natural instincts. This isn't basketball, you're trying to kill us. Here, I'm the coach. You don't get to negotiate. Wanna quit? Quit now, and you're out for life. Hawkins' words hit Hill like a sledgehammer. Of course he didn't want to quit. His one shining dream, basketball, would be snuffed out forever. Just when things calmed down, more trouble brewed. Tensions kept rising between black and white players. Don't touch me, Hick. Stop whining. I told you to leave me alone. Cut it out. No fighting. No trouble. Hawkins warned them if they keep this up in the game, one technical foul could cost the whole team the match. To teach them a lesson, all players, 200 suicide runs now. Just as the internal conflict was resolved, new trouble hit the team on the court, one after another. Center Sieda was afraid of physical contact. He always played soft on the court, falling at the slightest touch. Hawkins was furious. I told you not to dunk, but he can't defend either. Siede, you're like a duck. You play every day like you just hatched. Even the ice cream shop girls are tougher than you. To completely shake Shida out of his self-pity, Hawkins stormed right into the dorm, yelling at him to pack up and get out. Even bought his return ticket in advance. Leaving no room for negotiation, pushed to the absolute edge, Shida was filled with despair and frustration. He went to the empty court alone, dribbling and shooting mechanically, over and over, imagining in the silence the whole crowd, cheering his name. And it was in that moment he finally woke up, determined to fight once more. For the basketball dream that never died in his heart. Please, let me play. No, you might get hurt. Let me play. That unbreakable fighting spirit carried him back to the training court. This time, he was a completely different player, no longer afraid of contact or collisions. He always plays like this, even with a broken nose. He just patched himself up real quick, put his helmet back on, and kept fighting. Ain't nothing stopping me from playing ball. He won't go see a doctor, coach. Yeah, my hand. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying. Go get a doctor to check out your nose. We need you this season, all right? That's what you get, Shed. Growth never happens in some cozy greenhouse. It happens out in the storm, through falling down and getting back up over and over. When a man's backed into a corner with nowhere to go, that survival instinct deep down inside, and that hunger for his dream, is enough to rebuild him from the ground up, make him unbreakable. Coach Higgins being tough on him is actually the biggest love he could give Shed. Watching his players get tougher with every fight, Higgins knew it was time to take these underdog kids and punch right through that sky full of dark clouds. Soon, the NCAA season officially kicked off. The Miners finally stepped onto the court they'd been dreaming of. When the opposing team, all white players, walked out, the crowd erupted in applause. But when the Miners' black players stepped onto the court, the whole place went dead silent. But on the basketball court, skill is always the hardest pass you can carry, with every monster dunk and every smooth shot. The Miners crushed their opponents with pure skill and grabbed an easy win to start the season. But during the post-game handshakes, the other team just looked right through them. That pride deep in their bones wouldn't let those white guys admit they'd lost to a bunch of black players. After that first win, Hill got a big head. He snuck out for a date, but the coach caught him red-handed. Waiting for him was another brutal fitness punishment. Coach, I can't run anymore. You can keep running. If you've got energy to mess around, why not put it into the team? A captain has to step up. We're not even a real team. We can't win anyway. You always say how bad we are. If we can't win, what's there to step up for? Coach Hawkins didn't get mad this time. He told Hill about his own father. His dad gave up his own dream so his son could chase his love of basketball, and drove a truck he hated his whole life. Hawkins told Hill the reason he's so hard on him is because he sees in Hill incredible, one-of-a-kind talent. He can't stand to see him waste it. I'm not the smartest coach, but I give everything I've got to outwork everyone. It kills me to see someone with your gift not appreciate it. If you can't get on the court, if you never get a real chance to play, then there's nothing left to say, kid, I lived through that, but times have changed. You guys can play now. The moment you step on that court, you respect the game. Respect your teammates, and respect me, and respect yourself enough to chase greatness. Those heartfelt words completely woke Hill up. The second game, they faced the nationally ranked number 4 Iowa Hawkeyes. Facing the strong, experienced team with solid fundamentals and veteran savvy, Hawkins still stuck to a steady, grinding game plan, trying to smother them with discipline. But reality was brutal. The Miners were completely outplayed, helpless on both ends of the floor. By halftime, they were already down by 16. In the second half, things didn't get any better. The gap just kept growing. The whole team was in uncharted territory. Just when it looked like total collapse, Hill stepped up to the coach again, determined, begging him to let them play their own way, no holding back. Seeing that fire still burning in their eyes, Hawkins finally made his call, a decision that would change the entire season. All right, Hill, your way. Just win and come back to me. Back on the court, these unleashed wild horses exploded with insane energy. Slick handles, perfect give and go, nasty steals, vicious dunks. They hit the other team with their street ball style and threw them completely off balance. 5 seconds left, still neck and neck. Hill cut through the defense. Like a blade, calmly sank the shot and walked it off. The Miners pulled off the upset. The whole arena went wild. This win completely shattered the divide between the white and black players on the team. They started hanging out together, having fun. Even the white players followed their black teammates to their exclusive church through music and dance. They truly became one. Trust is the glue of a team and the catalyst for potential. When the coach finally chose to believe in his players' talent and embrace the culture of his black teammates, only then did this team truly come together. Sometimes, rules and tactics are just the skeleton, but what really brings the team to life and unleashes unlimited energy is that mutual recognition beyond skin color and background. Carrying this trust and unity, the Miners charged forward like dark horses, advancing triumphantly on a 17-game winning streak. breaking into the national top 10, becoming a legend in American basketball. But victory brought more than just glory. It also brought sharper hostility. After an away game, player Shade was attacked in the bathroom by 3 white men for no reason. They shoved Shade's head into the toilet, humiliated him, and walked away. When Shade walked out covered in blood, his teammates were furious and chased after them. But the attackers were long gone. Endless anger and helplessness hung over everyone. Hatred is like a ball thrown at a wall. However hard you throw it, it bounces back with equal force. And true courage isn't never being afraid. It's choosing to move forward despite the fear, using victory to shut down all the malice. Trouble kept coming one after another. Haskins himself received a threatening letter. They threatened him that if he kept coaching these black players, his family's lives wouldn't be safe. Facing threats of life and death, Haskins didn't back down, because he knew this had long stopped being just a basketball game. It was a crucial battle for the fate and dignity of all black players. But misfortune struck again. Willie, the player with a heart condition, nearly collapsed during practice. The coach wanted him to rest and recover, but Willie said, "Basketball is his life if he can't play. He'd rather die right now. As long as my heart's still beating, I'll keep playing. Swime, this condition's nothing. I'm still living just fine, aren't I? You can't bench me like this. I feel like I can play." Looking at the player's determined eyes, Haskins was heartbroken. He didn't send Willie away, because this team needed exactly this kind of courage to fight for their dream. In the games that followed, they faced hostility like never before. In the player tunnel, they were met with a tidal wave of curses and discriminatory slurs. "Ignore those trash. Just get out there and play. You are not allowed in here." A barrage of drinks and trash rained down on them. Even the referees, who were supposed to be fair, started blatantly making calls against them. This naked discrimination and humiliation set the whole team burning with rage, yet with nowhere to release it. But they didn't get tilted by the hate. Instead, they turned all the frustration and bitterness into power on the court. With even tougher defense and more aggressive offense, they crushed all the unfairness and bias with undeniable absolute strength and took the win. But when they came back to the hotel all excited and pumped, they faced even crazier retaliation. Their rooms were trashed. The walls were covered in red paint with disgusting, vile slurs. The discrimination hit them like bullets, piercing their young hearts. Their mental walls crumbled bit by bit, causing them to completely fall apart. In the next game, everyone was playing for themselves. Zero teamwork. They couldn't even hit basic shots. The whole team was like scattered sand, completely lost and disorganized. They could only watch as the other team scored again and again, easily taking control. Their undefeated streak was completely shattered. After the game, the locker room was dead silent. Tension at its peak. "You guys were absolutely terrible tonight. Even the assistant coach could have played better defense than you." The black players felt that the more games they won, the more pressure and threats they faced. The white players thought they were getting dragged into it and threatened too. The tension between the two races finally exploded at this moment. "Cut the crap. I've been looked down on my whole life. You've only dealt with this for how long, and you're already whining?" That's when Hawkins stepped up. "Tell them, what do you want?" "They want to take away our dignity. Dignity lives in your own heart. As long as you don't let them win, no one can take anything from you." The coach's passionate words reignited the fire in the players' hearts. They realized the scariest thing isn't losing, but forgetting your original dream. What they needed to do wasn't complain or back down, but use victory to shut the mouths of everyone who doubted and discriminated against them, once and for all. The lows in life are there to help you see the road beneath your feet and gather the strength to climb. When you stop living for others' judgment, your heart will have the strongest armor in the world. They regrouped and set off on the NCAA tournament journey. The Miners faced the title favorite, the University of Kansas. This team was overwhelmingly strong overall, boasting a top star like JoJo White. Right from the tip-off, the Miners fell into a complete defensive struggle, dominated on both ends of the floor. Hill kept getting stripped by JoJo in their matchup. Inside, Latin couldn't stop the opposing center's powerful drives. The gap never closed. At the critical moment, Haskins boldly brought in Willie, who had missed half the season due to a heart condition. Eager to return after such a long absence, he came in with a hot hand, sinking a clean jump shot. Instantly boosted the whole team's morale, but JoJo was still on fire and hard to contain. The Miners were always trailing by a few points. Coach Hawkins immediately changed the strategy, assigning their best defender to guard JoJo tightly, successfully cut off the opponent's offensive rhythm, creating multiple fast break chances for the team. Cage throws down a slam dunk. The Miners tied the game right after. But just then, JoJo delivered a precise pass. Kansas takes a 2-point lead. 7 seconds. Quick shot. 7 seconds left. The Miners can't call a timeout. Long pass to Ayo for 4. Pass back to Hill, to the rebound. Cage shoots. The Miners turned the game around with pure grit, dragging the match into overtime in just 5 minutes. Both teams went back and forth, neither giving an inch, until the final 5 seconds. The score was still deadlocked, the do-or-die moment, The Miners ran a brilliant play. Latin finishes the alley-oop with a slam, seemingly locking down the win. But the celebration hadn't even started. The ref blew the whistle, called a technical for hanging on the rim too long. The basket counts. But Kansas gets 2 free throws. The player sinks both, sending the game into a second overtime. No time to dwell on it. Hawkins quickly steadied the team, resetting the play on the sideline, relying on mismatched defense and smart movement. The Miners guard fakes out his man and drives for a layup, taking the lead again. Opponents got the ball. Everyone said the ball'd go to JoJo, but he snagged it on the sideline. Launched a wild 3. Ball arced through the air and swished clean. Buzzer sounded as the light hit. The whole arena erupted. Everyone figured the Miners were done for, right when the other team was going wild. Ref blew it again, called JoJo for stepping on the line first, so the basket didn't count. The crowd went absolutely wild after 2 overtimes and this insane roller coaster game. Miners stole it 81-80 over Kansas in a thriller. The UTEP legend, still being written with every twist and turn. Miners edged it by 1. Somehow made it to the championship. Their final opponent, the defending champs. Coached by the legendary Adolph Rupp, the Kentucky Wildcats, an all-white all-star squad, a powerhouse. Their strength is just unreal. At the pre-game presser, Coach Rupp's words were dripping with contempt for the Miners. Didn't take these ragtag nobodies seriously at all. Haskins' wife overheard it outside the court too. Socialites looking down their noses at the Miners. Letting black guys play ball, that's just terrible. Where are you from, darling? El Paso, Texas. I married that terrible guy you're talking about. Even in the bathroom, Haskins heard it with his own ears. Reporters insulting his players. One thing's for sure, 5 black guys can't beat 5 white guys. Just a bunch of black guys, same old story. They think they actually have a shot. His heart is burning with rage. But he knows every counterattack has to happen on the court, the night before the finals. Coach Higgins gathered the whole team and made a decision that shocked all of America. Tomorrow's championship game, he's only putting black players on the floor. 5 starters, 2 subs, all black. He's using the most absolute way possible to tell the whole world basketball doesn't care about skin color. Duggins, Armstrong, Perasovich white. Mayer, Baudouin white. I know how hard you worked to get here. I don't want to hurt any of you. Coach, I can't lie, I want to play. Really, we all want to play. But I'll tell you one thing. Tomorrow night, you'll all be out there. So everyone, how fierce the Black Brothers 5 are. The white players on the team didn't have a single complaint. They chose to back the coach's decision unconditionally. They placed all their hopes on their black teammates. Fate never plays favorites. It only respects those brave enough to challenge the rules and let their skills do the talking. When the spotlight comes on, the ones who write history are always those who carry their dreams on their shoulders and blaze the trail ahead. This ultimate showdown between the ugly ducklings and the white swans kicks off under the watchful eyes of the world. This isn't just an NCAA championship game. It's a showdown between 7 black players and 12 white elites at the peak of their game. For Kentucky's coach Rupp, this lineup is practically a slap in the face to traditional basketball. But he didn't expect just seconds into the game. Latin throws down an over-the-head slam and gives those arrogant elites a serious wake-up call. The game was way more brutal than anyone expected. Kentucky's a 4-time champ with serious pedigree after all. They tied it up fast with textbook team play. Tonight, they're gonna make them pay. But the Miners' iron defense gave them absolute hell. The turning point came when their big man went down injured. Huggins had no choice but to bring in Cage. Meanwhile, Star Latin was already in foul trouble. With 3 fouls, he had to sit. The paint was wide open. 2 free throws put Kentucky up 4. Coach Rupp could already see the championship trophy. Then came the clutch moment. The man they call the Black Lightning. Hill stepped up. He came up with a ghost-like steal, took on the whole defense, and drove straight to the rim. Right after, he did it again, stripping the opposing guard twice in a row, single-handedly flipping the momentum. At the half, the Miners took a 3-point lead into the locker room. Second half, Kentucky used their depth to mount a furious comeback. Their fast break had the Miners running ragged. Then Latin picked up his 4th foul and had to leave. Pat Riley calmly sank his free throws. The lead stretched to 8. Everyone thought the Miners were done for. In a desperate situation, Coach Hawkins gave the final charge order. All-out attack, fight to the death. Hill took over the game's rhythm. Cage let out his frustration with a nearly savage slam dunk. In this suffocating brawl, the Miners unleashed power beyond their physical limits. Watching these tireless warriors, Coach Lupu's brow knotted into a tight frown, because the real miracle was just beginning. Yakaichi hits the bank shot. Miners lead by 3. Timeout, timeout. Cornered, Coach Lupu looked panicked and had to call another timeout. He finally dropped his arrogant attitude and truly realized this game, he's not facing a bunch of pushovers, but a tough squad with championship caliber. All season you went from nothing, fighting your way up, and now you've made it. You did it. You really did it. Your hard work brought the team to this point. 2 more minutes and we'll be champions. Adin, you're going back in. This game now has nothing to do with talent. It's about your passion. Just who can play the most focused, most skilled. We're the most special team. Special team. You're going to win this game. You hear me? Yes, coach, you're going to win this game. Now go out there and make my prophecy come true. They're fierce fighters. They won't give up their spot easily. We're going out there to grab the championship, right? I need you out there to win. Victory. When the clock ticked into the final 120 seconds, the air seemed to freeze solid, pressing the entire crowd into breathless silence. Kentucky's guard Hill, under suffocating in-your-face defense, forced to shift in momentum, barely stopping the bleeding with a tough turnaround jumper. But the Miners' guardian in the paint. Latin struck back hard right at the rim. The score was locked like jammed gears. Neither side could pull away. The game's situation shifted in an instant. The Miners' guard keenly spotted a crack in the defense, threading the ball into the paint with surgical precision. Cage picked up speed, striding straight toward the hoop, finishing with a thunderous dunk. As the rim shook deafeningly, that play killed any remaining hope for Boach Loop. The Reaper left Kentucky with only 18 seconds remaining. Just as they went all in, trying to mount a desperate comeback, the one called Nightmare Hill ghosted in once again. A clean, sharp steal. Not only taking the ball, but crashing into Loop while saving it at the limit, giving the proud coach a deeply ironic, close embrace. The whistle hadn't blown yet, but Kentucky's whole team was already dejected. Hill casually bounced the ball, amid the arena's roaring cheers, waiting for the final second to seal history. The Miners are about to win it all. As the final buzzer sounds, the Texas Western Miners win the 1966 NCAA National Championship. They made history, no matter race, no matter skin color. The whole crowd stood up and gave this incredible team the loudest cheers. The light of fairness finally broke through the wall of discrimination and lit up the whole court. They pulled off an unbelievable win, completely ending white dominance over college basketball. As the cheers drowned everything out, we should remember the road they took to get here. These young men weighed down by prejudice, led by a stubborn, tough coach. They didn't let the world's hatred break them. Instead, they used basketball as their weapon and fought hard on the court every time they dribbled. It was a strike against the injustice of the times. Every point scored was a declaration of equal rights. This refusal to bow down in the face of despair is way more moving than any buzzer beater or dunk. This isn't made up. It's a real moment from 1966. Don Haskins led Texas Western with an all-black starting lineup to beat the all-white Kentucky team. This game wasn't just a miracle in sports history. It became a major milestone in the American civil rights movement. It hit hard against the South's college segregation policies and opened the door of hope. For countless black athletes, Haskins' greatness wasn't just his coaching talent. It was his vision ahead of his time. The players' perseverance has nothing to do with talent, only to prove they were born equal. Sports was never a game of winning or losing, but a resonance that crosses skin color. Those who press on through thorns will eventually shatter the shackles of prejudice.